The second delegate, also on the library review, Carolyn Burjoski. And I don't believe that you have a presentation, so you can just go ahead. Your 10 minutes starts now.
I actually do have a presentation.
Okay,
I have a screen to share.
Go ahead.
So if you can just reset that, and I just need to grab what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, and you can see my white screen there with the presentation and the date?
I can see your white screen, and your 10 minutes starts now.
All right. Good evening, Director Chanika, senior leaders, and valued trustees of WRDSB. My name is Carolyn Burjoski, and I've been teaching English to new Canadians in this school board for over 20 years. Like most teachers, I focus on my own classroom, and I don't pay close attention to what's happening at the Ed Center. However, I'm becoming increasingly concerned with the decisions that are being made at this level, and that's what brings me here tonight. A recent Record article reported on the school board's intent to cull both the libraries and teachers' personal collections of books deemed harmful. This culling was already underway at the time the article was written, yet the board could not answer the reporter's request for the criteria being used, nor how the team was chosen. No information was shared with teachers about the philosophy by which our personal collections would be judged. In the same article, a senior leader said he was proud of the new diverse books that the board had already purchased. On November 8th, we received a memo in which the board listed criteria for removing books. For example, a book that is misleading might be removed. Well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. A case could be made that some of your new diverse materials are indeed misleading. We teachers received a long list of books and resources for Transgender Awareness Week. Some of these books are a positive addition because they show diverse families and represent a variety of ethnicities. However, I am very concerned that some of the resources in our elementary school libraries are inappropriate for young children. The resources that I am now showing are all in K-6 libraries. And the book Rick by Alex Gino, a boy named Jeff keeps talking to Rick about naked girls. Rick is confused because he doesn't think about naked girls, so he wonders if something's wrong with him. Rick gets invited to the school's Rainbow Club, and he ends up declaring an asexual identity. While reading this book, I was thinking, maybe Rick doesn't have sexual feelings yet because he is a child. It concerns me that this book leaves young boys wondering if there is something wrong with them if they aren't thinking about naked girls all the time. Well, so what message does this book send to young girls who might be in grade 3, 4? They are children. Let them grow up in their own time and stop pressuring them to be sexual so soon. In fact, some of the books filling our libraries make it seem simple or even cool to take puberty blockers and opposite sex hormones. The Other Boy by M.G. Hennessy.
Ms. Burjoski, I'm just getting a little concerned that your content may be problematic. I'm not sure exactly where you're headed, but I would caution you to make sure that you are not saying anything that would violate the Human Rights Code.
Oh, I'm not saying anything that would violate.
I'm just concerned, so please continue. That will not count against your time.
I hope that that I can be heard because these are misleading books, and I'd like to tell you why. The other book by M.G. Hennessy chronicles the medical transition of Shane, who was born female and now identifies as a boy. Shane takes puberty blockers and is now excited to start testosterone. The doctor states that this hormone mixture will leave Shane infertile in the future. Shane's response is, "It's cool," a very typical adolescent response. This book is misleading because it does not take into account how Shane might feel later in life about being infertile. This book makes very serious medical interventions seem like an easy cure for emotional and social distress. And remember,
so I'm going to have to
Point of order.
I'm going to point out that the Ontario Human Rights Code includes gender identity and gender expression as prohibited grounds for discrimination, and I am concerned that your comments are in violation of that. So I'm ending your presentation.
No, you're not.
Point of order. I believe the delegation is talking about age appropriateness.
And
I believe
also,
that it is a violation
and-
of
no,
our
no,
delegation
no.
policy.
Mr. Chair, also, that's a point of order. The delegation is sharing information that CSHES is in our schools. I think that's a stretch to say violation of the Human Rights Code for her to share what is, I believe, unless the director thinks it's not factually correct that these books are in our school, I think the speaker should be allowed to continue.
Yes.
So there is a process for challenging the ruling of the chair. If either of you wish to do that, we will put it to a vote.
So I'll challenge the chair.
And I'll second it.
Okay, so I'm going to pass the chair to Vice Chair Woodcock, who will, I will explain my ruling, and then Trustee Ramsey will explain his challenge to the chair.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Chairperson Patkowski.
Thank you very much. We read the delegation procedure for a reason, and I don't think in my 3 years on the board we have ever had to stop a delegate from speaking. So I take the issue very seriously, but I was concerned that I cautioned the delegate because it appeared that they were headed in a direction that that was problematic. I deemed that their presentation did stray into that territory, and it was absolutely appropriate to stop their presentation when I did, and I'm hoping that you will uphold that ruling.
Thank you, Mr. Trustee Ramsey. If you'd like to explain your challenge, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't think there's a lot to explain. My colleague has even pointed to any bylaws that the delegation may or may not have violated. The delegation is speaking to an issue that is on the agenda. She has not, up to this point, made any personal attacks, and she's actually quoting from books. She says that is in our schools. Now, unless there's a member of staff that can point the board to or give the board information to suggest that none of the books that the delegate is referring to is not present in our schools. It's not respectfully suggest that the chair is still informed on this, and the board should vote to allow the delegate to continue. There's no personal attacks. She's commenting on and you're sharing information about what's in their schools. Some of this is new to me, so I'm not able to say factually that the books are or not in their schools. If there's a member of staff, perhaps the director might want to comment on this as to whether or not these books are in their schools.
Vice Chair Woodcock, could I have a point of order too, please? It's Trustee Herring speaking.
I hear you, but can you just
all I need is, can we stop the screen share so I can see the trustees that are speaking? I can't see people. So could we stop the screen
Yes.
share for a moment, please?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Kind of a point of privilege. Thank you. Just a moment now. I need to do some consultation with Manager of Corporate Services. Thank you. Just a moment. Thank you. I am going to ask the board if shall the decision of the chair be sustained?
Point of order.
Sorry, yes,
Point of
Trustee
order.
Watson? Yes.
Could we, before taking the vote, could we just not ask the delegation just to skip that part and continue on instead of voting? Could we not just say, just skip that part and we'll continue on?
Thank you. I'll certainly, maybe we'll get to that, Trustee Watson. So I am going to ask that, just a moment, just hang on. This is really important and I want to make sure that I'm following all the rules. Okay, I'm going to continue and ask the board to ask if the decision of the chair should be sustained. All in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair? I'm going to vote on this as well. 6. Ms. Rydell is counting the votes. All opposed to sustaining the decision of the chair? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Ms. Rydell, what's the count on the votes on the motion?
Thank you. Sorry, Vice Chair Woodcock, which way did you vote on that one?
I voted to sustain the decision of the chair.
Okay, that puts it at 6 for sustain and 4 opposed.
Okay,
that
I'm
motion
going to now suggest that
A point of order, just a point of order.
let me finish, Trustee Ramsey. I'm going to
Okay,
suggest how we can move forward, please. I'm going to suggest that even though we have sustained the decision of the chair, I'm going to ask the board if they can, or if they're amenable to having the delegation continue without the screen sharing.
Mhm. Yes.
Would that, would the board go forward with that? I'm cognizant of the delegation's right to speak.
Mhm.
Point of clarification, if I may.
Who's speaking? Yes, Trustee Meisner.
Thank you. Trustee Watson had also suggested that the delegation skip this particular topic, if you will. And I'm wondering if that is something, I don't know what the process is here, to be totally honest.
Thank you, Trustee Meisner. We have had a vote, and my suggestion of letting the delegation continue with without the screen sharing has not been responded, but we have had a vote, and the decision.
Point of order.
Point of order.
No,
Order.
We didn't vote.
Ask for a
This wasn't a
response.
vote.
yeah, we did vote on sustaining the chair.
Yes, but there wasn't a straw vote on whether the delegation can continue without.
No, there wasn't, because I didn't get any response from anyone.
I put my hand up.
And what's your response that you?
My response
make-
is to let her ask for a straw vote.
Okay,
Point of information.
sure.
I guess it's hard for me to make a decision when I have no idea what the rest of the presentation involves. So if maybe perhaps I could have a brief synopsis, that would be helpful.
That would be, right.
Just a point of order, Madam Chair.
Oh, just,
No,
yes,
no,
go ahead, go
Well,
ahead.
you know what?
Yep.
Seeing that we are you know, like that you'd indicated that the board voted. So the reason I was saying a point of order previously to you suggesting a way out of this impasse was simply because based on the rules, as I know them, you did not declare in advance as chair that you'd be voting. So you should not have been voting, okay? Because then you're participating in the debate. The whole rationale for my colleague, Trustee Piakowski, Chair Piakowski, to step aside was to not involve himself in the debate. You've now inserted yourself into it. So basically it's a 5-5 tie. And I would respectfully suggest that
5-4.
sustain is lost. And we're back to here in the delegation. I would suggest that perhaps check with Ms. Rydell on that. Sorry.
Thank you, Trustee Ramsey. You are correct. I did not declare that I was going to be voting, so I did. My vote should not be counted, and you are absolutely correct, and I appreciate the clarification. So in that case, if my I shall not be voting, the vote was a 5-5 tie.
No, 5-4.
Oh, pardon me. Ms. Rydell, I just want to clarify that. Was it 5-4?
It was, Vice Chair Woodcock, it was 5-4.
Okay.
We are short one trustee at the moment.
Okay, so the vote was 5-4 in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair. So the challenge has been defeated, and I'll just turn the chair back over to Chairperson Piatkowski.
Thank you, trustees. We're going to continue with the next delegation because I don't think that we can, you know, just press pause when someone has been.
Point of order.
So I ruled that the delegate needed to stop. That decision was upheld. We're not going to hear any more from that delegate tonight. I ask that they be removed from the meeting, and we'll continue with the next delegation, which is Peggy Thomas from the Ontario Library Association. Not surprisingly, also speaking to the library review. And I'm told that she does have a presentation to share as well.